Hello and welcome to the Diabetes Nerd Podcast. My name is Ginger VIEIRA. I am your host, and with me today is Kelsey Conover, T1D Disco on Instagram. And it looks, Kelsey, like you are near a disco ball right now. What's going on?
I
I
have
love it.
two. So my lighting in my apartment, I haven't figured it out yet, and you probably can't see it, but I have a
Oh,
T1 disco light.
that's
You
awesome.
can't see it,
Okay.
but that's
I
what's
love
getting
it.
me all pink right now.
I love it. It's
Yes,
perfect. It's your theme. All right.
thank you. Thank you
How's
so
it
much for
going?
having me.
Yeah, well, of
Oh, it's
course.
going great. I just moved to Chicago, so I'm figuring things out. There's been some adjustments in lifestyle, therefore diabetes. So it's
Yeah.
been a roller coaster, but honestly, I'm just taking it as it comes and I've been figuring it out. I've been using ChatGPT to like tweak some things more than I thought, and it's
Oh.
working. It's not bad. So
Wait, tweak
tech
some
has
things
been on my
in insulin
side.
management or tweak some things?
Yeah.
Really?
Tweak
Whoa.
some things, insulin management. So I was off my
Okay.
Omnipod for a minute because I just was doing injections as I was moving, kind of so I could just, I don't know, get regulated with my own management because I was doing that before I moved. So I didn't want to just hop right into Omnipod.
Oh,
But
okay.
now I'm kind of in the switch from New Jersey to Illinois doctors. So in the meantime, I wanted to get back on Omnipod and I told it all about my entire life. I told ChatGPT what I was taking manually, my struggles. I put in all of my clarity data.
Wow.
I was yapping to chat and I was giving it a lot. And it told me what settings to put into my Omnipod app. I have better numbers than I've had in months right now. So
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. I'm just trusting the process.
Whoa.
It wasn't going fabulously with the injections, so I was like, you know what? I don't know how much worse it could be, so I gave it a try and
Hmm.
I've gone from 48% in range to 78.
Whoa. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
Congratulations.
know. Thank you. And 48 is not my normal, so I was like, I'll do anything
Yeah.
at this point. And
Yeah.
chat saved the day. So, I mean, so far, it's not looking too bad over here.
Wow. Wait, so okay, tell everybody I'm you know, I don't do any scripting and little to no editing for this podcast. We're keeping it super casual. Tell everybody who the heck you are, how long you've had type 1, and what you're doing out in the type 1 space right now.
Yeah, who the heck I am. I'm Kelsey. I have had type 1 diabetes for 4 years now. I was diagnosed when I was 20 years old. I was a sophomore in college and COVID was happening. So life was kind of shaken up as it is. It was funny because I received the call that my blood sugar was almost 600 at 5:30 a.m. when I was getting ready for a diner shift because I just had a bunch of random jobs to get me by when I was 20. And I was like, oh shit. So, 20 years old, and they didn't let any visitors in the hospital at that time. So it was like, this is
Right.
what's happening. At that point, I was, all the symptoms of type 1 diabetes. I was very skinny. I was peeing. I was thirsty. I was moody. I thought what I thought was 20, but little did
Oh,
I
you thought
know
that's what turning 20 was like? A slow death?
something like that. Something like that. Yes, it's so funny. But I run a page called T1 Disco, and my goal is just to help other girls get through it and to normalize the ups and downs and create a community where we can yap about it, we can bitch about
I
it. I don't
love
know if I
it.
can say
I
that
love it.
word,
Yeah,
but
everything
we
that
could
you
just
make on
connect.
your Instagram is it's real but also positive and empowering, but it's not like fake annoying empowering. It's like, hey, we're all struggling with this. This is hard and here's some stuff that might help. And it's just I love your vibe, girl. You're nailing it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, my big thing is I create as it comes to my mind. So I do not, sometimes I won't post 100 times in a week, and that's just because I will only post when it makes sense to me and it's something that
Yeah.
I've experienced before.
Yeah. You
So
kind of put it
I
out.
hope I hope the girlies love it. I hope the guys love it. Whoever is looking for just some
Yeah.
realness and some inspiration, I got
And
you.
how old
T1
are you
Disco on
today?
Instagram.
You and
I'm
Disco.
24.
24. Okay. So we are about 16 years apart, and we met at a diabetes camp where I was a speaker and you were is an adult camp for
Volunteer.
adults. Yeah, and you were a volunteer.
Yes.
And
Yes. And I saw your name on the little like speaker list and I was like, Ginger, I hadn't met you yet, but I knew who you were because we've got our own world of celebrities in this type 1 diabetes space. And to me, and my newly diagnosed self, you were up there on that
oh,
list.
that's very
And I
sweet.
tried to keep my cool. I was working the check-in desk and I was like, what's your name?
Oh, that's
I know your
right. You
name.
were with the check-in. Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
was like, okay. Is
Yeah.
it Ginger? Yeah, got you.
Yeah. That was
I
so
was
fun.
so excited.
And we made a reel though while we were there, and it was just like
Yes.
comparing because we're opposites in a few things. Like, I've lived with type 1 for 25 years. You're coming up on 5 years, right? And then
Yeah.
our age, I feel like you're at kind of the entering into like not adulthood because you've been an adult for 6 years, but like that out of college, real world, you
Yeah.
just moved to go be near your boyfriend and all of
Yeah.
that stuff.
Things are
And
getting
I'm like,
real.
yeah, I'm like divorced, then broken up with my long-term partner after that, then just had some dating, whatever
Oh
nonsense.
yeah.
And I feel like we're at these two different funny ends of the spectrum where it's just kind of fun yin and yang.
Absolutely. I love talking to you. And I think maybe I'm at a different end of the spectrum, but we've had some life experiences that are similar.
Yeah,
So getting
it all
getting
meshes.
getting to talk to you, there's always something we can laugh about. So it's always a pleasure and it never feels like two
No,
different
it
ends of the
does. That's the
spectrum. I
funny
feel
thing.
like we're right there with each other.
Yeah. Yes. So for listeners, I was recently dating a man for the last month and a half, and I've been really careful in this dating process on these dating apps of like really trying to swipe through the losers very carefully, not give them really a second of my time. And my
Right.
filters are pretty strict, right? And now this person got through and seemed great. And this is the fast forward story because I really just want to share the text that you sent me earlier. That's really what I'm just trying to get to. Um, and then I think halfway through, this person started having feelings and chickened out, but didn't chicken out of spending time with me, just chickened out of like making me a priority and treating me well emotionally, but still showing up and using my time and getting my
Mhm.
attention. And to put it lightly. And also, I mean, I had this man's toothbrush in my house. I had a giant bag of his dog's food for because
Come
his dog was
on.
spending so much time at my house. I had his favorite type of beer in my fridge. Like, and I'd also he'd been introducing me to all his friends. Okay, this is gonna. Sorry, I'm in a real mood this week. This is gonna turn into a bit
No,
of
we
a
want to hear it.
bash, but yeah. So just bullshit to then suddenly be like, well, no, no, I don't have time for something real. Like, oh, but you still have time to like waste my time 3 or 4 times a
Right.
week, like not something real. So anyway, I know he just
What is that
he
time?
started having feelings and chickened out, and I said get lost, but
Yeah.
in a really nice way too. I did it so nice where it's like actually annoying, but you you texted me today and you said, "Thanks, loser, for giving us content." Just made me laugh. So thank you.
Well,
You're
you had to
funny.
change your what was it, your long acting dosage to deal with the stress and
I did.
the
Yes,
hate.
because last Friday. I mean, it was like this was a holiday weekend, and I
Yeah.
spent my holiday, the actual day, trying to figure out is this man gonna contact me or not on a it was like a breaking point of my patience with like I know something's not right and he's not being direct with me. And so
Mm.
I had other plans going on, but I still had not heard from him till 7:30 and I said to him, "If you really care about a woman, you don't wait to show up until he lives an hour away. You don't wait till 8:30, 9 o'clock to get her
Yeah.
time and you don't wait till 7:30 to make sure she has time for you. You make sure she's going to spend her evening with you." And, well,
Right, because if you're a priority,
Yes, you don't wait.
He would
Even
be
if you're
thinking
not
that
free
way.
until 8 p.m., you call me that morning and make sure that my 8 p.m. is reserved for you if you really care.
Right.
And the excuses, and I was like, no, I know what. So anyway, very stressful holiday weekend. I felt like crap the whole weekend, and I knew my blood
Yeah.
sugars were running higher. So I actually increased my long acting by 2 or 3 units, which is a big jump from I'm on
Yeah.
10 units a day. I mean, that's like a 30% increase.
Yeah. And I feel like you're very tight with your management. So for things to be jumping like that, he's
Yeah, I was
shaking too much
shocked.
up. He does not
Yeah,
deserve the space that he's taking up
not
here. He
deserve
does
a
not.
30%
No.
unit increase. No.
He can pay for that insulin. He can send you the reimbursement because insulin isn't cheap, honey.
I think
He's
he has one of
wasting
my laundry
time,
baskets.
Insulin.
He's got one of my
Oh,
laundry
come
baskets
on.
at his house. Yeah, I want that
Oh,
back. I
that's
do a lot of
that's a
laundry.
shame.
Yeah.
Then what do you have at your house of his?
But what do I have at his house of mine?
No, what does he have at yours? Sorry, I worded
No,
that
no.
crazy.
Yeah, I made him take everything Friday.
Oh,
No, it's gone.
so
Yeah.
you did it nicely, but you gave him a boot out the door.
Yeah, I said I'm not going to call you again. I don't want to be your casual friend that
Right.
you're giving breadcrumbs to at 9 p.m. So,
No, no.
yeah.
I I read a book once called Why Men Love Bitches, and it sounds controversial, but it's kind of like it helps you navigate situations like that. And it's by Sherry Argov. She said if you're going to somebody's house past 9:30 p.m., you might as well have a delivery sign on the top of your car, like a Domino's pizza, because honey, it's a cheap deal, and it's a crazy take, but it also kind of
It's
gives you
true.
some
It's
boundaries to
true.
work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
wanted that hot and ready, and you said, "Nuh-uh, nuh-uh."
Exactly.
It's
No.
not like that, honey. I
No,
love
what
it.
is
No, I'm glad you set those boundaries and you said shoo, because he doesn't
Thank
deserve
you.
your time. He doesn't.
No,
The
clearly
games
not.
were over it.
Yeah.
No,
Well, so
you know,
you're trying to set some boundaries too, though, right? Because you went from not living with your partner.
yeah.
Can we use his name? What's his first name?
Oh, his name's Lucas.
Lucas. Okay, I was gonna say we can give him a
Yeah.
fake name if he doesn't want his name. So you and Lucas lived apart. If you've lived
Yeah.
apart for
We've
a long
been
time.
We've actually been long distance. So he's been
Yeah.
on the West Coast and I've been on the East Coast for three
Okay.
years. And
Whoa.
now after, yeah. So it's been a lot of like, we'll see each other a little bit each month, but we have a lot of space from each other, which it's been really healthy, honestly,
You
being
do
a young
still now?
couple. No, now we
No.
have both moved to Chicago.
Yeah.
So those
Okay.
3 years are over and we're
Yeah.
both so excited. But I mean, it's a lot for us both to learn, and something I'm navigating is just, I've been the only one with hands in my diabetes management for the past 4 years. I was diagnosed when I was 20. My mom
Yeah.
has been great in helping me and motivating me, but I've been in the driver's seat. And now he's so supportive. He's fantastic. And when I'm low, he wants to troubleshoot and help me avoid those lows. And that low state of mind when you're like, F
Mhm.
everything. Like, I want to go antisocial and hide in the corner. But I appreciate the take. So it's something to learn is, we're a partnership and he cares about me, and this is a way of him showing up for me, and it means a lot to him. This is my health, and this is something that I have shared is frustrating for me.
Yeah.
So when he sees opportunities, he brings it up and we talk about it, but it is something that I've had to figure out. Like, I've been alone in this for a long
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and the idea of support is like, hell yeah, I want all of it. I want somebody to take this on with
Okay.
me.
Okay. So you don't feel like
But
protective of like, hey, back off.
I mean, I just think it sounds like a relief to not have to carry all this weight on my shoulders.
Okay.
But in the moment, there's a part of me that's like, just let it be. Like, the low's gonna happen, it's fine. We're just let me do me.
Yeah.
So it's conversations we're having about like where where does he step in? Where does he step out? I mean, he is equipped with those juice boxes. Like
Oh,
we have separate places, and he has a
yeah.
whole section for just juice for me. And
Oh,
he knows I
that's
love cran grape.
sweet.
He's got the cran grape. He's fabulous. Like I couldn't
Good.
ask for more, but it's just coming from a place of doing this by myself to
Yeah.
letting somebody contribute. It's like,
Is he having like was it weird for him to see in the moment like your blood sugar spiking 100 points or something? Was it weird for him to see that in the moment diabetes management? Like the blood sugars that people who don't know diabetes well and are new to actually seeing that real life blood sugar data in a type
mhm,
1, they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're at
right.
50. What do you need?" And and it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I deal with this all the time. Relax."
So, I mean, though we've been long distance, we've spent a lot of time together. So by
Okay.
now we're 3 years in. He knows what the deal is.
Okay.
But I will say the first time I went to his house, I was changing my Omnipod, and I have never had this happen. I was changing my Omnipod in his bathroom while he was downstairs, and I took the Omnipod off, and I kid you not, like a stream of blood onto his white carpet,
Oh
onto
no.
his white bedding. And I was like, oh my God. I called my mom. I was like, I don't even, where do I go from here? Like, do I jump out the window? What do I do? Because this is awful. Like, I was still new to diabetes at that point. So explaining what the heck just happened to me was so scary. And I was like, he's never inviting me over again. Little did I know, like, these little things make him love me more because he sees me in that vulnerable state more than I maybe would have if I didn't have to deal with something like this.
Hmm.
So he's seen how messy it can be and that it's unpredictable. And sometimes my favorite thing that he's done is like I'll wake up in the middle of the night after a couple drinks, and I'll just open one eye and he'll be checking my blood sugar on my phone. And I'm like, somebody's taking care of me. Like, that just feels so sweet and just so special to be loved in that way. So, those are the things I remind myself when I'm like, back off. I just need to deal with this by myself. It's like, I'm so lucky to have someone to show up for me to like take on some of this with me because
Good.
I didn't have to wake up to check my blood sugar because he's doing it for me. I mean,
Oh,
how sweet is that?
nice.
So it
Okay.
it's been a
It's gonna be a
process
whole
because
thing.
it's new, and
Yeah.
that I mean, I think it's good to look not just at like I need to push him away. It's good to look at what's going on inside. Why am I feeling that way? Because all I've wanted is support, and now that I get it,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
this sort of like I'm territorial over my
Mm.
diabetes. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's not
like,
what I'm hearing. I mean, you said that in a text before we chatted, but what
yeah,
I'm hearing is a lot of gratitude and you're excited to have somebody in your
yeah,
corner. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's kind of a feeling of like, when you're like you'll complain about your sister and oh my sister's annoying, but you don't want somebody else to complain about your sister.
Mhm. Record,
That's how I
Alyssa.
feel
I have
about.
not been complaining about you.
Oh no, no, no. And same
I'm
to my
kidding.
sister Alexa.
Yeah.
We're not talking about our sisters, but it's
Yeah,
that feeling of like this is my space. I can bitch and moan about it, but as soon as you say something bad about my space, uh-uh.
yeah.
So, just learning
That's a
to
good
grow
point,
with
though.
that.
That's a good point. Like, I might say, ugh, my blood sugar sucks right now. I do not want to
Yeah.
hear someone else say that. Like, you don't get
Hell
to say that about
no.
my blood sugar.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Right. And I think just having those conversations because I mean, it's an unfamiliar space for anybody entering it. Like everything he knows about diabetes is either from
Yeah.
conversations with me or his Google searches, but
Right.
if there's boundaries, I have to set them. And that's, I mean, I'm doing a
I'm going to
lot of
take a
growing right
hit of
now.
Afrezza right now just for anyone listening. Oh, no.
Ginger's high.
Just hit my high alarm at 160. So I'm going to take a.
You have a high alarm at 160. You're good.
Well, but no, you
I,
know what? It's not about being good. It's that I've got 20 more years of playing around in this game. You don't need,
yeah,
it's not a competition,
no,
right?
absolutely.
And I've been pregnant twice. Once you learn how to, once you go through pregnancy, if you choose to do that, Not
Yeah.
saying I endorse it one bit, but I have done it twice. It's not the pregnancy part I don't necessarily endorse. It's the whole like raising these children for the next 18 years.
Mm.
They're great. I love them, right? But they're expensive and stressful. But
Sounds
um,
expensive.
yeah, you learn like a new you just learn so much. I don't want to say new level because you could learn it without being pregnant, but you
Hmm.
learn this new level of diabetes management because you have to. And then,
Right.
because you set your high alarm during pregnancy at 140, 150,
Oh,
if
wow.
you're comfortable with that. So anyway, well,
I mean,
that sounds awesome with your fella. It sounds like he's not overstepping,
right.
right?
But
And
he's showing up.
yeah,
And that's something that I just have to get used to is somebody really being in my corner with this stuff.
yeah.
It's just there's a lot of new in my life with moving. It's
I want
diabetes
to
has
ask
not
you about
been
that.
the
Yeah.
cleanest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, also, and remember to give yourself some grace during big transitions like that, right? Like
Right.
you're in a whole new routine and it takes a minute to like adapt
Yeah,
diabetes to a new thing.
for sure.
How hard was it to set up new pharmacies and set up new doctors and get all that established? Oh, and like the shipping for your tech and like, yeah.
Yeah. I will say Amazon Pharmacy is very clutch. Like my insulin, I use Amazon Pharmacy, so that
Really?
hasn't. Yes, it's fabulous. So that ships right to your house.
Cool.
So that hasn't been a problem. And same thing with I've used Walgreens for a few things. That's been a little interesting because some like amounts are different what my insurance will allow me to pick up. Like I had a whole thing, they only allowed me to pick up 2 insulin pens. I usually pick up the box of 5, and I just had these bags of 2 pens, and I was like, this feels like street insulin. Like this feels wrong. But I called my pharmacist back home. She helped me figure it out, and it was really just the way the pharmacy, I mean, the insurance would allow me to get it.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
I've had that.
I'm still in the process of figuring out the doctor stuff, honestly. It's an interesting conversation because I'm 24, so I'm still on my mom's insurance,
Oh,
but the out-of-state coverage isn't great, and my employer, they give you benefits after 3 months with being there. So I'm almost at the 3 month part, but I've just been using my mom's insurance right now. So TBD on how that all goes because I have honestly, I could be better with it. I've just been going to like more like clinic type doctors that accept wider insurance
okay.
methods. But
Well,
it's on my to-do list to figure all of that out.
you
But
have,
I've
if you had, I mean, I know ChatGPT just basically replaced the doctor recently. Like,
yeah,
do you have somebody to reach out to for,
yes.
okay.
Yes. I still technically can go to my primary care doctor at home,
Yeah.
and I have a pharmacist there who is incredible. She's the pharmacist at the doctor's office. So
Oh,
she's the one I reach out to when
things don't
things
go
are
right.
hitting the fan.
Yeah.
She's got my back. So I've
Cool.
texted my mom so many times before, like Elisa, that's her name. I'm like, Elisa is amazing. Elisa saved my life. I love Elisa. Like all these things because
I have
she
a
has just
pharmacist
come
like
in
that
clutch.
too. Yeah.
We all need one. We all need
Yeah.
somebody in our care team who
Find a
is
good
just that
pharmacist
like,
and be kind to them because they're going to
yes,
fix
be
the things that
kind.
everybody else messes up and they're going to be the one that gets
Yes.
the medicine into your hand. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's something I've tried to continue to do is like I get them a Christmas present, I write a little card
Um,
because they do so much and a lot of it goes unnoticed or is just, part of the job, but it's our lives at stake. So
yeah.
when you're freaking out and there's somebody within reach who can save you from freaking
Yeah,
out
who also has the
even
power
more,
to
it's like,
call the doctor and call
right.
the insurance company and but you just reminded me
Yes.
you just said it's our lives at stake. earlier when you were describing Lucas caring about your diabetes, you said, well, this is my health. And what went through my head was, no, this is way more than your health. Like we think of,
Yeah,
I take my vitamins for my health, I walk for my health, but like this is your life. This is like your hour by
it's
hour
my life.
survival. And it sounds so dramatic to anyone who doesn't know type 1, but literally, Lucas is watching you keep yourself alive hour by hour. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's the
yeah.
truth in
And
this stupid disease.
honestly, I don't give myself enough credit for that. I mean, when I've been giving myself grace as I've moved because things have been I've
Yeah.
I experienced a lot of highs overnight, and I was kind of just like getting fed up with it and not taking as much action as I should have. And at one point, it just like something hit me where I was like, this is my life. Like, if I just allow these highs to keep going and going and going, like, what are the repercussions? Because I don't know about you, but I'm in a lot of Facebook groups where people share their complications, and it's scary. I mean, I'll never forget when I was first diagnosed, I had a Zoom call with an endocrinologist, and she was just explaining type 1 diabetes to me. And she said, in this state right now, because my blood sugar was 500 for probably months, she was like, in this state right now, you can't get pregnant. And I was like, immediate waterworks. But that has stuck with me in a good way and a bad way
Yeah.
because it's kind of like this is what you're risking. Like there are just so many things at stake when you kind of let things slip away and when you're more okay with 200. Like right now, I don't want to be 200. A
Right.
month ago, I was like, better
Well, and
than
you know what,
280.
too, though? It's, yeah. But a month ago, you were going through crazy transition. You had literally just moved, you know,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think that's okay. And part of what shows it's healthy that at a certain point you're like, no, I don't want it to be like this forever. You know, I definitely had a month last year when I broke up with my longtime partner where I was around 200 a lot, and I was just like, meh. Like, and because
yeah.
it takes a lot of energy to not be 200, to be down near 100.
Mm-hmm. It
Right?
does.
And so you're putting a whole bunch of energy over to moving and transitioning your life and starting a new job. And there's only so much energy one has to give. So it's
Right.
okay that you had that transition phase. And then at a certain point, it's proof that it wasn't that you were neglecting your diabetes, it's that you were dealing with the chaos of something else in life, you know?
Yeah, I was distracted, and
Yeah.
I think I'm grateful that my life is so exciting that I have things that distract me from
That's
this all the time, you know? So, I mean, I sold my car. I'm walking everywhere. My last job, I was on my feet all the time. Now it's a desk job. And I'm going to happy hours, trying to make friends. So there's so many variables that are just
yeah.
all over the place right now. So any control I can get is fantastic. I have been a little less hard on myself, but I'm slowly making my way towards getting my shit together. Um, but it all comes with time, you know. This is
And
for
it
life.
doesn't just when you
So
get your shit together, it doesn't mean you keep your shit. It's still you
nope,
can have the yeah.
it's for
Last
life.
night,
You have to
last
deal with
night I
this.
forgot. I ate a meal that I eat all the time. I've probably talked about it so many times on this podcast by this point, but it's this gluten-free bakery, and I put I only discovered this bread like 6 months ago. It is amazing gluten-free bread. Like it
Mm,
looks like real bread, and it's
okay.
made like 30 miles away in this bakery, and you can only get it on Mondays and Thursdays at the store. So I'll buy a bunch of loaves and slice them up and put them in the freezer because I can't go without it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's goat cheese and brie and fig spread on bread, and I'll have like three
Oh,
slices. And I know that I need a second dose of like 4 units of insulin 2 hours after my first dose. But I ate really late last
interesting.
night and I just completely forgot. And my blood sugar is
Right.
300 in the middle of the night. I just completely forgot that, hey, this is how you always dose for this meal. How could I forget? But it just happened.
But
Yeah.
today you're at 160. Like today
I
you're
did everything
okay.
I could first thing this morning to get back into where I wanted to be, right? And then I did overcorrect a little bit because I thought I was having some resistance, so I added a little more to my dose, and I shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
And it did interrupt my
It
jump rope.
always,
It's okay.
I've been there. I'm like, I'll be too hard on my sugar, and I'm like, no, get down. And
Yeah.
then it says, okay, we're going down. It's a constant learning game. I mean, whether you're 4 or 25 years in, like every single day
Yeah.
is a new day. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how perfect you were yesterday,
Unless
or
you want to be obsessed, and I don't want to be obsessed right now. You'll be obsessed when you're pregnant. It's like your whole part-time job. But
yeah,
I don't want to be that obsessed right now. And just so you know, I've had type 1 for 25 years, right? My blood sugars have not been perfect. I have not been obsessed the whole time, and I don't have any diabetes complications. Just so
I
you know.
love that. That's
And
exciting.
I mean, and
That
for anyone,
is wonderful to hear.
yeah, like just keep that in mind because a lot of the
Yeah,
older people we know who do have complications, they lived during a time when diabetes tech and insulin was garbage. You know what I mean? When they
right.
couldn't know what their blood sugar was even for a minute accurately, let alone
Yeah,
24 hours a day. So just remember that when you're getting the complications threats from your doctor, that,
you're
you
right.
don't have to be perfect.
No, and I hear you and thank you. And honestly, I've chosen to unfollow certain groups that push all of those stories because
Oh,
I don't think that needs to be me. Like, I'm doing everything I can. And
yeah.
honestly, the relationships I make with other people who have type 1 diabetes make it even better. Like, I just feel like the community helps the control. There's so much
Use the word
more
management.
to
We're
read.
supposed to avoid the word control.
Management,
You can't
my bad.
control it. There's
PR
so
trained
many
me.
things out of your control, Kelsey. You don't have to be in control. Just you keep trying to manage it.
PR trained me, Ginger. We'll have to do another one of these where you give me the rules.
No, no, no.
But I'm doing
But
my
it's good
best,
for your
okay?
own
Whatever you want
brain
to call
too.
it.
It's good for your own brain too because
Yeah,
control is like black and white. You're either in control or out of control. Manage is like it's like I'm just trying to manage this thing, and it's like it's like a
absolutely.
constant. So it's good for your mindset of
Yeah,
like
we
doesn't
should
have
add
to
it to
be.
our resumes. Full-time managers. That's,
We
I wish we
should.
could.
Yeah. It says a
Oh,
lot
but
about a person. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, I feel like all of whatever management looks like, it's really shaped who I've become. I mean, it's shaped what I'll put up with, what I have time for, what I'm excited about. I mean, it just like completely shapes my outlook on life. And although sometimes I am at 300, it's usually because I had Ben and Jerry's. So like, you take the good with the bad, and I feel lucky to be able to have conversations like this with you because I have, where is it? This thing on my arm.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it means a lot to I don't ever feel really lonely in diabetes because I could text you any day of the week and be like, uh,
Yes.
those relationships and it just we don't even have to talk about diabetes. Just being with you in Chicago is so fun and the three of us had our little photo. We'll probably put that as the album cover on this
Yes.
episode.
No, I loved that. And it reminded me that I need these relationships in my life. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like bringing back my girls chats that I started a long time ago because I am having more and more girls in my DMs like, "Oh my God, I feel this. I relate to this." I'm like, "Girl, let's talk about it. Let's connect on it because once you tap into that whole environment of people who get it, like it changes everything. I mean, I've called you about weirdos in my DMs,
Yes.
diabetes related or not. Like you get it, and there's no other community that's stronger than this community. I
I had a
I
really weird one
swear.
today, actually. I had a weird one
Oh my
today. I
God.
shared it to my stories, but the guy said, "Can we get to know each other more?" I said, "No, thank you." He said,
No.
"Ha ha ha, that's right." I think he meant to say that's all right, but
Oh well, he'll
I'm
try
like,
again tomorrow.
yeah, maybe. I hope not. I blocked him on there actually.
Oh, perfect. We'll
There's
find
no
you on another.
need for this. Yeah, yeah. I just got a friend request on Facebook, mutual friends with my best friend. I text her. I'm like, why is this man friending me, and she said he maybe he wants to date you, and I said no way. He looks old, short, and, and she said I think he's also a pothead and something else.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, great. I'm gonna tap out on that one. Thank you.
Yep.
But, yeah,
Not accepting that one.
this is the life of
Oh,
yeah. Anyway,
I mean, use this content for your next stand-up act because I think you've
I
got
know.
a lot to work with.
Yeah. For a few days I was like, I don't think I'm going to feel funny again for a while, but I don't want to, yeah, I'm feeling inspired. We're getting there. Refueling the
We're
tank.
getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes
Feeling,
time, but
yeah. I was working on a
I love
draft
that.
of the book. I'm trying to rewrite the book I wrote when I was 22. And because it's so
Oh,
outdated, my first diabetes book, Your Diabetes Science Experiment, it's just also like my writing skills then. I was 22, it's been
yeah.
nearly 20
Yeah.
years. So I read it and I'm like, oh God. And as I'm writing it, I'm like, oh, you need to be careful because I'm in like quite a mood this week of just nobody's going to mess with me the way that man really
Yeah.
kind of messed with me. And so I'm writing that in the book. I'm like, oh, don't take this out on your readers. Like, you have to be nice to the
They're
readers.
gonna feel the wrath.
Yeah, they're getting the a person. My friend would call it personal trainer ginger. I used to be a trainer, and it's like no nonsense. Get down and do what I told you to do, and
Hey,
anything
but
they
sometimes
say.
we need a trainer like that. We need
Yeah,
like good ginger, bad ginger.
yeah. Well, probably like as you're reading the book, you'd be like, oh, she was in a good mood, and this is where that guy was messing with her.
I
Okay,
need to read the book
chapter's
just to
pretty
find the
hard.
part.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
he doesn't know. I mean, I always say you don't learn anything on a good day, so he gave you a lot to work with on a bad day.
You
So
don't learn
let's
anything on
get
a
to
good
it.
day. That is
I
really
mean,
good. You don't
it's
learn
just rainbows
anything
and
on a good
butterflies. That's great. I'm not
day.
saying good days are bad. They're wonderful. But if you want to learn about yourself, give yourself a bad day. You'll learn a lot.
That's so that's so painfully true. I mean, I've heard, like there's lots of inspiring phrases like that of you don't learn without struggle or you don't grow
Yeah.
without hardship, but you don't learn on a good day is so I was like, oh man, that's brutal.
I work in events, so I see the mayhem that happens when things aren't put together or something's wrong. You'd be impressed with what people can make happen in the span of like 10 minutes. So that's when we learn.
That's when you learn. You don't learn on a good day. Holy moly. I'm gonna take that with me for the rest of my life. See, look at
Oh
what you're
man,
teaching me. Our age difference is completely irrelevant. I'm learning
it doesn't
really
matter.
good.
Yeah, I
Wow.
love it. Rookies and vets, we can work together.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for hopping on today. I know we've been trying to schedule this and you need to come
Oh
back.
yeah.
And it's always good to see you. And thanks for fueling my power engine when I needed it.
I got you, Ginger, and thank you so much for having me. Let's talk every day, all day, if that's cool with you. I'll block off my calendar.
Perfect.
All right, well, we'll talk soon. I know it.
All right. Love you, girl.
Love you.